You're a real estate investor and you're right now having money problems because right now you have a skill set problem. I just finished a conversation with a new investor named Alan. If this is you, pay attention, I'm going to help you out. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Franklin Cruz from TrueInvestors.com. I'm a real estate investor and real estate developer, have been for years. My project's been on the front page of the newspaper a couple times, and I've won some awards in a prior service Army as well. Go Army, whore. Anyway, let's go right into it. What I brought up to Alan is that he's done a couple deals, which is great. But what I've learned is everything in real estate is about pertaining to skill sets. If you have the skill sets, you can't be a multimillionaire and then have no reps. You actually have to have the reps in to actually obtain what you want to obtain, period. As me, I have a ton of reps when it deals with sellers. Everybody's always asking, for example, Alan was bringing up, hey, I'm trying to look for buyers and how do I get more buyers because my investors aren't coming in. I say you're focusing on the wrong thing. You need to be considering and focusing on one thing, and that's sellers. Actually focusing on having great conversation with sellers, and don't be a telemarketer. Actually understand how to market to sellers that they're going to be calling you. Well, I don't have that kind of experience. Great. That means right now you're only on year one and you did 4 deals. That's amazing. Now you've got to learn more about your trade. So your trade happens to be real estate. Now you need to understand all aspects of real estate. There's construction, there's raising private capital, there's deal flow, there's dealing with sellers, there's negotiations, there's real estate development, there's commercial side, there's business parks, there's apartment buildings, subdivisions, new builds, all of it. And I've actually done a lot of this already. But I brought up to Alan, and if this helps you out, I brought up, here's a couple things you could do, Alan. Number one, you can go to local Habitat for Humanity and see what kind of projects do they have right now. And you could ask them, say, look, what skill sets do you have? Now, Alan has a background. He used to work in electricity. He used to work in AC. And I say, look, sit down and really look at your financials. How much have you truly made after all the costs that you've already spent? Perfect. Now say, what do I need to make to survive? And I need to start learning skill sets in this trade. You can go to Habitat for Humanity and say, look, I'll take on whatever projects you have. What projects specifically do you have right now? Just to get in the trade and learn the trade. You could do that for free. Now you could also see, hey, what projects do you have that I probably want to purchase? Do you have any houses or anything that's too much rehab that Habitat doesn't want to take on? Probably I could buy it from you. That's another opportunity for you. The other aspect you could learn pertaining to grants or whatever is available within that city or local municipality that you're in. That's another aspect. Then you also have, which he could do as well, and I brought this up to Alan and said, look, and you need to actually make active income before you think about passive or big cash flow wins. What that looks like is, what is your steady cash flow coming in? What does that look like? If you have none, go get one. Period. And you really have to find something that you can make revenue. When I was in the military, that was my active income. And my goal was I want to make enough active income so I can get out of the military. Because at the time I was already almost coming in at 7 years. And I just finished going to war. And in my head, I was like, damn, I got really lucky. And a lot of people I know didn't get lucky. I have all my 10 toes and 10 fingers and my brain is here. Because I met some people that literally, for real, they were missing half of their brain for real in the war that I was in. So I was very blessed. Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom, when I went downrange and I went to my ETS class, that means when your ETS is transitioning out of the military, and I had to go to a class about wearing a suit. When I went to wear a suit, to learn how to wear a suit, even though I kind of knew how to wear it, but we had to go in class. It was from Men's Warehouse when they were still around. And I was sitting in the back, and then I could hear the guy in the front hitting himself. And I was like, what's going on? Why is he like mad? And so I looked to the side, I looked to the front, and when I looked to the side, half of his skull was gone, and his mom was like saying, hey, everything's gonna be okay. And I could tell he was hitting himself hard on his head, super hard, because he didn't have that portion of his brain. Like something was supposed to function and it wasn't there literally. And so right then I was like, I'm making a right decision about getting out, but I also got to make sure it's smart. I had enough capital. I had my car paid off. I paid my mortgage 2 years in advance. I had money in the bank as well, and I had no debt. And at the time, I wasn't married at that time. So for me, and I had a whole bunch of rental properties as well. I think I had up to like 38 rentals. I knew I got this. And at the time, I was 25 years old. So now when I look at it, I was like, how would I redo that again? I would do the exact same thing, meaning have your active income, make sure everything you have is paid off, which I told Alan this too. Alan, if you're listening to this is for you, man, is make sure you got strong active income. If you've got to look at survival, hey, meal prep. Go to the store, buy 2 rotisserie chickens, chop them all up. You got white rice, you got greens in there. Make sure you have food, water, stuff like that. And then at the same time too, now your basic food is taken care of. Where are you living? If you got to live at your parents' house for a little bit, do that. Then after that, start learning the trades one by one. Understand construction, because in the future, construction is going to be the hardest and most difficult constraint in real estate is going to be construction, because people don't want to go outside, period. It's just the way it is. If you could learn that, have an in-house crew, great. Then learn how to deal with sellers. The best deals are always going to come with sellers. Learn how to have those kind of conversations. Then after that, after you're learning how to deal with sellers, now you're learning how to raise private capital, because you actually have deals. And people with money, they just want to know that you've got a deal and you understand the construction side and make stuff happen, right? Then you got to understand tax strategies and everything else. But this is, if you're feeling stuck, this message is for you. Period. This is for the Allens in the world. Hopefully this helps. Is like, have a plan, write it down, look at your current constraints, look at what is the skill sets that you need to learn, pick one and go for it. And that's it. Hopefully this helps. If this helps you, fantastic. My name is Franklin Cruz. Again, if you're considering getting into high level of real estate, advanced real estate and stuff like that, you can go to trueinvestors.com, check it out. And also find me on social media. I've got a whole bunch of great content out there. Hopefully it's great. And I'm just sharing what I've learned and just some of the lessons I've gotten out of this game, which has been a huge blessing. All right, if you get something out of it, great. If not, don't do anything. All right, bye.